Hello, everybody. Welcome to this next interview. This is a cracker. This is Paula. Paula is my aesthetics person, my cosmetic woman, my wing woman with regard to everything skincare. And as you know, I work with thousands of people now. And one thing that's always asked is, what about my skin? How do I improve my skin? So I thought, why do I not just speak to the woman who helps me with my skin? And that here is Paula. Paula, if you don't mind, if I can hand it straight over to you, I'll introduce you, or you can introduce yourself, and then I'll just ask you some questions, and we'll just go nice and easy through this absolute doddle. Nothing to trip you up, nothing to trip me up, I hope. And yeah, straight over to you.
So I'm Paula. I have a wee clinic, PF Aesthetics, in the town centre, and I'll give you just a wee bit of my background first of all. I've known Shelley for probably the biggest part of my aesthetic career, actually. But I, first of all, studied beauty years and years ago at Dundee College, and I'd actually had my little one quite young in life, and I was at a stage where I thought, what am I going to do? You know, I need to turn my life around a little bit. I need to do something that is close to my heart and that I'm passionate about. So I went to Dundee College and I studied for 3 years, which I absolutely loved. It worked well at the time. He was just little. I was a single mum, and just really plodding through life, trying to make a life, if that makes sense. After that, I went on to Dundee University to study nursing. And as I came to the end of that, I studied child nursing, which was absolutely amazing. And although I don't work doing that anymore, it was probably a chapter in my life where I learned so much about myself and the direction that I wanted to go in. And I had such an amazing opportunity to go into facial aesthetics. So that was almost 8 years ago. And really, my career was born there. And it's been really, really amazing ever since. So I'm still a nurse. I still am on the nursing register. I just practice in cosmetics and in the industry really that I love and I'm so passionate about. So yeah, it's been a bit of a journey, but I'm finally getting to where I want to be, doing something that I really do love, helping women, not just skin, we'll come to that, but lots of other things as well. So it's
fantastic. Good. And I just have to say, Paula, you look absolutely incredible. I'm looking at your skin, I'm looking at my skin thinking,
no,
you look
not
gorgeous.
at all.
You really do.
I should have booked myself in for a blow dry before I came on.
But every time I see you, Paula, even when you've got no makeup on, you're radiant, you're dewy, you're glowing, you're really beautiful. So it's great.
It's nice to hear that, because sometimes you don't actually feel that yourself, you know. I try to be real going to work, and I want women to see that, you know, not everything's perfect, and you do have a spot that day and your grey roots are showing that day, but women come in and they do actually see something else, so it's nice.
Great. Okay, right. So that's a wee intro. Fortunately, Paula has helped me with my skin. I've got, just to put everybody in the picture, that if you don't know me and you're watching this, I've got quite, I've got acne scars. I've got skin. My skin's not great. Like, I've got broken veins, but you don't see that because I wear makeup. But I'm working on my skin more than I ever have. Paula, do you want to just maybe introduce from your perspective my skin, because I want to be dead open with this. When I came to you, I was getting various treatments done, but now where I am with my skin, my biggest concerns, how are you helping me treat that?
So I think over time, my perspective on the aesthetics industry as a whole has changed massively.
Yeah.
And not that I didn't feel skilled when I came into the industry. I was learning all the time from some of the most amazing mentors. But I think at that point, you know, the woman that comes in, she wants a filler here, or she's wanting to have anti-wrinkle or Botox, you know, and I think for a long time skin was dismissed, and I think even just growing up, you know, I didn't wear SPF, I probably didn't take care of the skin quite as well as I should, and I think lots and lots of women can relate to that. So for me, when women walk through the door for the first time, my investment or my advice to them first of all would be take care of the skin, because no matter what they want to go on and have, the skin, if the canvas doesn't look great, they don't get the best from anything. You know, that's what people see. Yeah, we'll come to aesthetics and we'll come to different treatments that'll enhance the face and volumize and take care of lines and wrinkles, but the skin quality has to be in the very best condition possible. And there's no two ways about it. That's the way it has to be.
Fantastic. So I'm going to pause you there because that's what I wasn't doing. So I for those that don't know, I had 3 sunbed shops, and I would clean them even with the sunbeds on. So my skin has been damaged by sunbed, going on holidays and just brutalizing my skin, getting a tan. So I've not looked after my skin over the years. And in terms of wearing SPF, I never.
No.
Like even like in Scotland, I didn't think you should or you must, but obviously since speaking to you, you're like, Jelly, what? So I've only just started in the past sort of couple of years really thinking about my skin and not what's under it and how full it is or whatever. So that was an eye-opener for me, and I think it will be for a lot of women. Just to, I suppose, Paula, my demographic, when my clients are between sort of the ages of 35 and 45 mainly. I mean, there's liars in there, quite a lot of them, but that's the main ages. What, if you had some sort of top 5 tips for your skin, what would they be?
So there's probably a million, if I'm being honest, but when patients in that demographic, actually, the whole range, 1, skincare is important. 2, SPF is a must. Even like you say, on days like today, Shelley, you know, I think patients come in and they say, well, I'm not going on holiday and I'm not in the sun, and literally the light that's out there today, your laptop, your phone, the light bulbs, if you're not protecting the skin, it's aging times 10 every single day without an SPF. So lots of women, when they come into the clinic, you know, they're budgeted as to what they want to do, and if they were going to buy one thing in the clinic, or not even in the clinic, in Boots, it's an SPF. Yeah, right. 100%.
So it doesn't need to be a certain brand?
It doesn't need to be a certain brand. Obviously, in the clinic, I use ZO Skin Health. I love it, and I'll come to that later. Yeah. We'll come to that. But it has to be an SPF, a factor 50, nothing less. There's absolutely no negotiating with that. It has to be a 50. Lots of makeups and things, they'll have SPF in them. Are they high enough? They're not. You need that physical barrier on the skin. And there's a few really good studies out there, and if I could find something, I will send you over so that you can let the clients know. And it literally was about a trucker who had driven in America his whole life, and the sun had come in one window, and actually the 2 sides of his face, from having that sun exposure on this side, he actually just looked like a different person. And it's a really, really powerful image. If I can find it, I definitely will give you it. So SPF for sure. Staying hydrated is really important. Obviously a healthy lifestyle, healthy eating, that it all ties in together, you know, working out, good sleep. But if there's something I could give the patient, it would be skincare and an SPF.
Brilliant. That's good. And we're going to get to ZO just shortly, because
that's okay.
I'm actually using ZO just now, and you're going to tell us why. But
yep.
So SPF, so hydration, that is a big thing. So when women come onto this program, on my program, they say, I don't really like water. And I was just actually having a conversation. We've come to we take so much for granted, Paula, don't we? In like modern days, like society, like the rain falls from the sky and it's the thing that we need to live, and we still moan about the taste of it. You know what I mean? It's bonkers, isn't it?
True.
What about water? Does it hydrate? If we don't drink enough, what does it do to your skin?
Yeah, 100%. So when the skin's hydrated, it looks better. It doesn't look as dull. Lines and wrinkles look, you know, they don't go completely, but they look less severe. You even think about if you have a heavy night out, if that's what you would do at the weekend, and you wake up the next day, not just does the skin look dehydrated, the whole shape of the face changes. You look drawn in, you look gaunt, because that fullness is gone in the skin. But actually, you know, the underlying structures of the skin, you've got the fat pads, you've got the muscles, everything's dehydrated. So it's not actually just the skin that's dehydrated, and it just changes everything. And I think when women say, I just feel my skin's falling off or my face is sagging, it's changing. Hydration really is a huge part of that. So I'll always put my hands up and say, I'm not the most hydrated person, and I am one for saying, oh, this water's rubbish, I'm working all day, I'm drinking a can of Diet Coke, and that's something I really need to change. I treat my patients and tell them to do these things, but I do understand sometimes life takes over, but it is something that really has to change the skin.
Okay, thank you. And what about the products? I know we've touched on that a wee bit. Does the actual product matter? Is there some products that will dry your skin out more? Is there some products that are just like, I'm thinking about high street products. Are they good? What do people go for? You go into any shop, the shelves are absolutely jam-packed with stuff. How do you choose?
They are jam-packed. I think as we start to get a little bit older, we need to use products that have active ingredients in them, and products really that are made to work together and benefit the skin so that you can see a true difference. For years, I've probably used Zedo now for the best part of 7 years, and I think before that I'd buy that in Boots because she had that and she said that was great, and that in Superdrug because she bought that and that's in a Bonnie package and that smells great. But I think once I've found what I'm invested in and what really does start to change the skin, but it does need to have active ingredients in it. You need to be washing the face. You also need to be exfoliating the face because you want then your kind of moisturizer to work well, so it's products that work together to give really the best results instead of, I'll try this and I'll try this, and it's easy to be sucked into a Bonnie package, I suppose.
Definitely, and I think we're all guilty of that. I certainly am. So if there was a protocol to follow, just a general one, when you don't know somebody and they're looking at this interview for advice, what would you say we must do as soon as we get out of bed in the morning, look in the mirror? What must we do?
What should we do?
Yeah.
Okay. I've actually brought a wee example to show you. Okay. And this is, so thinking about Zedo.
Yeah, that's a good intro, actually.
So this is a good wee intro, okay? Zedo is a doctor in Beverly Hills called Zaino Baji. He's a dermatologist who is just absolutely amazing with skincare. And I'd really actually love to go to Beverly Hills to just his amazing clinic and see what's going on. But what his advice is every single patient out there should be using 5 basic fundamental products. And if you're not, or you're not using them all, you're not really doing what you should be doing to improve the quality of the skin. So for the only thing I don't have here, I didn't have it in the office upstairs, was the SPF, but I'm going to show you 4 basic fundamental products, because I think what happens, not just with Zedo, but with any product out there, patients kind of look at the shelf and think, well, there's 100 products there. I actually don't know where to start with that, and that's too overwhelming, so I'll just not bother. Whereas if we can whittle it down and make it easy enough that patients are compliant with things, the skin will without doubt change for the best. So first of all, everyone should be using a cleanser. Okay, there's a few different cleansers in the range, but no matter what you're using, you should really be using a cleanser.
That's the first stage.
That's your first stage. First basic fundamental would be to use a cleanser. So that's going to wash off any makeup. It's going to wash off the day. It's going to, clean your face for the day ahead. You would literally do that twice a day.
Okay.
The second product would be an exfoliating polish. This probably is the best-selling product in the clinic, without doubt. And the way I would kind of explain this to patients is almost like a mini microdermabrasion every day. Does that make sense? It's hard to explain what it actually does to the skin, Shelley, but you feel that kind of sloughing off of the top layer of skin, and the skin when you come out, it just feels beautiful. It feels clean, it feels smooth. So you're sloughing off that top layer of skin, which generally it is dead. It sounds pretty gross, but it is dead, and you want to benefit from other products. So that would be your second basic fundamental. Complexion renewal pads. Some patients go on to oil control, and I'll talk about hormones later as to why patients might use oil control, would be complexion renewal pads. So this would almost be in place of what lots of women are using as a toner, but it actually comes in a pad that's already got the product in it. So that's balancing out the skin for the day. Even if you're not planning on wearing makeup, it's going to remove oils, it's going to remove grime, but you can use those before makeup or even for days that you're not using makeup at all either. So that's the third basic fundamental.
I also love them, Paula.
They're fab. Yes.
The whole range makes your skin feel so clean.
It does. And I think once you start using it, you'll understand that they need to be used together to get the very best results. Not even that they need to be used together, they complement each other really well. Yeah. Zainab Bajri doesn't actually believe in moisturiser, and he doesn't name his product moisturisers, because what he believes is, since we're babies, or we have babies, or we put moisturiser on their skin, but what it's actually doing is tricking the skin into thinking that it doesn't need to make its own moisture, and that's where the skin becomes imbalanced for people. So his last product is called Daily Power Defense. It's more of a stabilizer for the face, so it's not too heavy and thick. It's great for wearing under makeup, but what it's going to do is balance out the skin over time. So some patients feel when they start using this, my skin's a bit dry and it's a bit tight. But actually, you have to get through that to then feel the best benefits. And the reason you would feel that way is because maybe previously you've been using a heavier moisturiser that it tricks the skin into thinking that it doesn't need to produce something, and it actually does. So sometimes it takes a bit of balancing, but without doubt, they're the best products in the world. They really are.
Brilliant. And I actually use the range and I absolutely love it. Sometimes when I travel a lot, sometimes I forget certain things though, and I can see in my skin that I've not used X, Y, and Z, and I know I can tell. And when I see you, Paula, and I go, how's my skin looking? And you look at me and you go, yes, you know when I've been using it and when I've not. Is it dead obvious?
Do you know this, Shelley? I think it's fair to say it's taken a wee bit of time to get there with you. You're one of the most compliant. I know you're busy, and that's life. You're busy. Things take over. You're away traveling. You've not got your products with you. But even patients that just start using the products, they'll say, my skin's feeling amazing. I've loved that. Sometimes I'll give patients just a wee sample away from the clinic that'll do them a couple of days. And literally they'll be on the phone saying, look, I'm needing to have that, because they're feeling the difference really quickly. But I'd always say, give the skin 3 full cycles to see and feel the difference. So you really are looking at a few months, but you're getting there. And I think hopefully you're feeling the benefits of things now. So no, it looks great. It does. It looks lovely today.
We've also talked, Paula, about I really want to work on my scarring, because I've got, you won't see it, but they've got scarring here. I used to squeeze spots when I was younger and all that stuff. So because I was live so much, and if I actually changed things so I'm not as live so much, which can allow a bit of downtime. So I want to try and get into other treatments that you do. And what would you suggest for me on the basis of what I've told you?
So I think there's a few treatments, and I think, as we've probably discussed before, the way you worked just wasn't allowing that to happen. As treatments become more invasive, to see a quicker bang for your buck and a quicker result.
I like quick.
You do everything to be done yesterday, that takes a bit of downtime. Okay, so whether that's done through an invasive peel or a deeper peel, whether it's done through something like skin pen, which is a needling device, there is a bit of redness, there is a bit of rawness, there is a bit of downtime with that. Although it's minimal, it's still there. And I think for some patients that's a difficult one, and it doesn't mean to say they can't change their skin. We just choose a route that works better for them. So whether it's a less aggressive peel, but they have it more often, so they're a bit dry just for a few days, but they don't have that redness and real flakiness. Whereas I think for scarring, for deeper lines and wrinkles, for sun damage, sometimes to use treatments that are a little bit more aggressive, it's really the only quick way forward. And in the clinic, I would generally use the skin pen, which has been a fantastic fantastic addition to the clinic. I just brought that in just towards the end of last year after watching results of that for about a year. That for me and my little business was quite a big investment. So I thought, yeah, I need to watch it for a bit of time to make sure it's going to do what I want it to do. And without doubt, you know, it's starting to prove its worth.
I need to get that.
You need to get that, and I think we
that
discussed that the last time, but there's a bit of downtime, so we need to have a wee look at that. And generally about 5 sessions of that, it's, you know, and it's a commitment, and it takes a commitment. However, I've been treating a patient recently who's had 3 and is absolutely over the moon. She's actually cancelled going into 9 wells to have fractional laser. So for me, that's just amazing. You know, she's waited 3 years to have a laser, and she's decided not to do it now. So it's actually changed her life, you know.
Amazing.
Which is great.
Do you know what's so good, Paula, is I'm sitting here just talking and my clients are in my head, I'm in my own head as well, just trying to speak to you about things that actually matter to women. But you're so personable, you're so lovely to speak to. Nothing, you're so not, I mean, I'm trying to put myself in the frame here, and you're not even clinging to that. You're just washing over it. You're just such a lovely person to deal with. And when it comes to your face, that's a big deal for a lot of women. I won't go out the house without makeup. Like and I always, I mean, sometimes I wear lashes with really short hair. I think I need them. People go, oh no, you don't. But that's not for them to say. That's for me to feel. But regardless of how I'm feeling, whether I feel great or not, you're just amazing to deal with. So I think that'll come across. You really are. So on to some other questions.
Yes, go for it.
What about collagen? People, I'm trying various different collagens out. And do you know what? I'm not sold on any particular brand yet. I need to be more consistent with it. What's your take on collagen?
What's my take? So if I can show you the jar that's sitting on top of my fridge of collagen that was posted through the door every single month for I don't know how many months. You know this, if I'm really, really honest, I think when I take it every day, which I have done, and which are probably spurring me on to do again now that we've spoken about it, I honestly did feel better, and not even just my skin. I felt like my hair was better. I just felt better. I felt more awake even at work. I don't know if that was a placebo or not, because I don't know everything about collagen. You know, I take it because I don't know, because people take it, and I think, oh, I'll give it a go. I'm not happy with my skin, my hair, you know, just women issues. But I definitely do think I feel better with it. And obviously skin-wise, we'll want to restore that collagen. We'll want to be as full as we can. We'll want to replace what we can, when we can. So if it's a luxury add-on that we can have, then why not? And if we feel a benefit from it, then that's absolutely amazing. But I am going to get back to the jar that's on top of the fridge. I was forgetting to take it, and it was just building up. But yeah.
Okay. My next question is it hormones and hormone imbalances and time in the month and skin flare-ups and rashes and you know, skin issues. What's your take on hormonal imbalances, and how do we manage that as women? What do we do?
So it's huge, and it's a huge part of my business. And some people are just lucky, and they have great skin their whole life, and they're very balanced, and you know they're not really affected by that at all. And some patients are just very, very unlucky, and they need a help along with that. And whether it's help from someone like myself, or whether it's help from the NHS in some way, for a more aggressive treatment, some women really, really are through the mill with their hormones and how it affects their skin. I think if the body actually does work really well to try and balance hormones, but if one of the hormones is off, you know, whether it's estrogen, whether it's progesterone, if it's off, you're either going to have a flare up, you're going to have oiliness, you're going to have sebum, you're going to have open pores. And if there's a lack of estrogen in any way, you're going to feel dry, you're going to feel flaky, you're going to feel like the skin's dull, crepey, sagging. And I think women more moving towards the menopause will feel that way.
Yeah.
That's a lot of chat just now in the clinic, that things just happen overnight. But I think hormones, whether it's teenage, whether it's an adult acne, or whether it's moving towards the menopause, it's massive if it's not balanced.
Brilliant. Okay, well, did you say sebum?
Yes.
What's that?
So sebum is it's oils that reach the surface of the skin. So if you think of enlarged pores, for example, oils that reach the skin will sit in those pores. So it makes them look larger, it makes them appear larger. So generally someone who's had an oilier skin their whole life will suffer from open pores. Can you get rid of them? You'll never get rid of them. It's just the skin, and it's because they're stretched, but the skin pen is FDA approved to sort that out. And I've got some really, really good results that'll be coming for that as well. And I've got some models in, so that's working well. So that things can be done, but sebum, it stretches the pores. It's just oils that collect in the pores and stretch them.
Okay. What we need to do really is, because we've got you in Dundee, we're fortunate to have you in Dundee, but my clients are all over the world, Paula.
Yeah.
How do we get you to these women that need you?
I know. I wish I could see them all, but I'm also here, and it doesn't matter where they are in the world. I'm always happy to do even just a FaceTime and give advice. I'm so passionate about it that I actually did a FaceTime with someone in Aberdeen just last week. And at the end of it, she says, this, I actually said to her, where is your closest clinic that would get ZO to you ASAP? And we discussed it, and I got it to her next day delivery anyway, through the pharmacy. And at the end, she says, you didn't need to say that to me. And I said, listen, I'm actually here to help you. I'm passionate. I want to help you, and I'm just glad I can. So I think when you feel that way, it's lovely.
Definitely. And so my clients, if they want to, they can approach you for a consultation.
Of course they can.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to welcome them, even onto a wee Zoom call. If they're in Dundee or the surrounding area, they're more than welcome to come into the clinic. I'd love to welcome them. So it's brilliant. It's good.
Great. Another question I've got, Paula, is as we start to age, people, do you know what? It's, for me, a lot of this this aging process pisses me off, to be honest, because it's, I'm getting old. I can't do that anymore. And it's a nonsense. And it really is just a slowing down because we're getting lazier a lot of the time. And what starts to happen with my clients is they start to, well, not my clients, but people that are just coming into my sort of system, they're starting to get a sag, like a skin sag. And it's because they're atrophying. So they're losing muscle mass, their bones are getting a bit thinner, and things are falling. And when we start to talk about things that are falling, your face falls, doesn't it?
It does.
You have actually helped me, and we're going to discuss Botox, actually, and I'm going to ask you some questions on that. What's your take on skin falling and women feeling older and perhaps have lost, fat in their fat pads? Things are just starting to go south, including, a number of things. But the face, what would you suggest, or what in fact, tell me what you think about skin sag and
So it's a discussion that I would have with 50-70% of my patients every day in the clinic. And I think patients, especially who have maybe lost a little bit of weight, or they're on a weight loss mission, or, not just do they feel that atrophy in the body, but they do feel it in the face. And I have heard people my whole life saying it's face or figure. And there probably is an element of truth to that. A fuller face definitely ages better, but want to be healthy. So as we start to get a bit healthier and we'll lose the fat pads from the face, or they start to drop, the skin, just like anywhere else on the body, it starts to become looser. So the fat pads, they atrophy, they fall, but also the skin becomes a bit looser as well. And at that point, we need to look at facial aesthetic. If that is something that someone wants to change and they're bothered about, we need to look at facial aesthetic treatments to try and enhance that and change things a little bit for them.
And so Botox then, what's Botox ultimate job? Because a lot of people don't know this. They don't get Botox, not interested in getting it either, but they probably like to know about it. So what does Botox do? What is it? What is Botox?
So first of all, the word Botox. Botox is an umbrella. If you think of an umbrella, a Botox, and underneath there's lots and lots of different brands. So when patients out there say, I'm having Botox done, they might not be having Botox, the brand of Botox, but they're having a brand of Botox. But essentially what that is doing is it's reducing muscle movement. Okay, so for example, when patients are raising, frowning, smiling, and they're seeing those static lines in the skin, not just due to weight loss, due to sun exposure, due to the aging process, due to lack of skincare in the past, sometimes due to medications, stress. The only way really to get on top of those static lines, along with skincare, but I'll touch on that, is to stop the muscles moving as much as they are at the moment. However,
your camera is bouncing a lot.
Oh, sorry.
Is it on a thingy?
It's on a shoebox.
Okay. Mine is on a candle.
No, you're fine.
Good. That's good.
So essentially what it's doing is it's stopping the contraction of muscles so that we'll look fresher, we'll look smoother, and we'll just have a more youthful appearance. And that is essentially what an anti-wrinkle treatment is doing, which is Botox. Works very well, it works very quickly. It's a dream.
Okay, so we're going to talk about my Botox because, like I said at the start, I want to be really open. So let's just discuss, Paula, what you helped me with, and what in terms of Botox I get.
Yeah, okay. So I think over the years that we've treated Shelley, we really have come to work out that she doesn't like the movement in the frown area, the forehead, and especially around the eyes. The eyes for women are the hardest area on the face to treat, but they're women's main concern because when you look at someone, you look at their eyes straight away, the skin's a bit thinner, it's a bit crepier, we start to get a little bit hollow. So when we smile, unfortunately, I don't have any lines there at the moment, and we see crow's feet. Essentially, an anti-wrinkle treatment is going to stop that muscle working. So that's what we've done for Shelley over time. And I think it's fair to say for Shelley that she hasn't always been strict with her treatments. You know, she'd phone at the last minute and say, I've got something on, can I have my Botox? And that's great. And that does that quick fix of feeling great. Is it a true anti-aging treatment? It's not. You have to be a bit stricter with that, but it's nice to feel nice for, you know, your summer holiday or Christmas time, or if you've got an event on, Shelley, probably like you've done in the past. But I think we've got a bit stricter with that over time so that we're keeping on top of it. So really treating the upper third of the face with the toxin.
I feel like I'm getting told off by my teacher, you know, that subliminal message of
it's true. Are you using skincare and getting for your toxin?
Brilliant. So what parts of my face, we'll just tell people what parts of my face we do. So we do here, the under eye.
Yeah, so I think the last time we treated the frown, the forehead, the crow's feet around the eye. I always do a little bit of toxin underneath your eye as well, just because you're a little bit crepey there. I think we've put a little bit into the bunnies in the past. So when we scrunch our nose, we get these wee bunny areas. And that works really well for you.
Yeah, I have had my lips done in the past, and my top lip's looking a wee bit slim actually. And do you know what? I hope there's nobody watching this being judgy, because we're surrounded by judgy people. This is for me. This is my stuff. I'm not judging anybody else. So please be open-minded with this. I'm sharing because I want to just share my journey, and that's it. So there's women that's, you know, all for it, and there's women that go, no, that's not for me, and that's okay. So this is my stuff. So please don't judge me on what I get done to my face. But I've had my lips done in the past, and I am feeling like my top lip's kind of disappearing. I've obviously had my teeth done. So maybe a wee, I don't know, a wee
we can have a wee discussion. And you know this, Shelley, just going back to the judgment, I just wanted to touch on that because, you know, there are lots of patients that come into the clinic, and I think when they've not had treatment before, they almost are very aware of what other people think, and and honestly, I have a discussion with them every day that everyone is having something done somewhere. So whether they're saying that are or whether they're saying that aren't, you know, everyone has their thing that they want to do. And, you know, I don't think there's any room for judgment at all. I think everyone has their own desired outcome. I think everyone wants something different from treatment. And I always try and put patients at ease with that. If it makes them feel better, there's patients being treated for years and no one actually knows they've been treated because they don't want to tell, but no one's actually looking, thinking, right, what have you had done? You know, so I don't think there's room for judgment, and it makes me sad that people, you know, are still doing that. So
that's the kind of world we're in, though, isn't it? But no, you're the consummate professional. Thank you for putting it across like that, Paula. That's amazing. Say, for example, somebody's watching this and thinks, I want to go and see Paula. I don't want Botox, but I want to talk about my skin, to improve my skin. How do they get in touch with you?
So there's a few ways to get in touch with me. They can either phone me directly. I actually do everything myself at the clinic. So I treat the patients around the clock. I do all my paperwork, I do all my ordering, and I deal with the social media as well. So if I don't get back to patients right away, it's not that I'm ignoring you. I definitely will at some point that day. It's just that I'm kind of paddling myself trying to do that because it's the stage I'm at in my little business, which is my little baby that I'm trying to grow as well. So they can either phone me, they could get in touch through social media.
Your pages then. So what's the Instagram that they can find you on today?
Yeah, okay, let me just bring it up here. So my Instagram page is PF Aesthetics, and I'll just see if I can give you camera.
Yeah, so
does this work?
Brilliant.
So that is my Instagram page. That's got my mobile number and everything on it there as well. I do have a website as well, which is www.pf-aesthetics.com. And in that website, there's a little inquiry form. So that comes through to my email. Some patients do things that way. So yeah, either way, I will definitely get back to the patients. And if I'm available to take the call, I absolutely will.
That's amazing. So if there's anybody interested, please do that. She's amazing. I've been to see her loads. I've been to Harley Street to get things done. You are the best, Paula.
Oh, thanks, Shelley.
Think the world of you. Just one last question, and this is an aside really. So you've started your own business. You've got your family, you've got your partner, you've got your kids. How do you manage it all? There's no team behind you. This, like you've just said, this is you. I just want to take my hat off to you for a start. Well done, congratulations. It's hard going, but you're doing it, and you're doing it really, really well. How do you do it though?
So the honest answer to that is I'm actually not sure, but I'm managing. I've got a great family. I've got a great support network. I actually just branched out on my own about 19 months ago. I worked in a really amazing, well-established clinic in the city, and at that point I thought it's time to spread my own wings. You know, and I started off really slowly, and I had a couple of patients a day, and then it just started to boom, which is absolutely amazing, to the point that just now, you know, I'm paddling away myself. I'm trying to see my family. I've got young children. I've got my husband. I've got my oldest. You know, and yeah, it's amazing, and I need to make some decisions at some point soon. But I think just having support around, you know, I often send you a text message, you know, when I listen to things on your Instagram, say, you know, I really needed to hear that today because I'm so inspired by other people, and you know, I like to see people doing well, and you know, it's your own story, Shelley, is amazing, and I'm sure that'll inspire anyone who's come from, you know, a background that's not always been hunky-dory. And so I'm getting there, and it takes some plunges and some kind of steps into the unknown, but hopefully by closing doors behind, it's opening up, you know, doors ahead all the time. So and it's funny because people say to me, you know, oh, you inspire me every day, and I'm thinking, who am I? You know, what am I doing that inspires you? But hopefully, you know, by steps I've taken like that, going back to having a little one so young and being at Dundee College and thinking, okay, I'm going to make a life for this little one. And then kind of where I am today, I'm really, really blessed. I've got a really successful business that's hopefully going to go from strength to strength. So it's good.
It definitely is. It will for sure. Just what you were saying there about inspiration, I think it is really important that we celebrate each other, we build each other up. We're collaborating here because it's why would we not? Like we've taken a long time to get to this, but that's what we should be doing every single day, is celebrating each other. And you know, you've got followers on your Instagram, I've got them on mine. Why should they not know about each other? That's amazing, isn't it? When we can actually cost nothing, just an hour of our time. But I think we need to feel more of that. Women building each other up.
For sure.
So, any questions for me at all, Paula? Anything? I've got a couple for you. You got any for me?
Think. What would be your? Oh, let me think. I didn't have time to think about this. What would be your biggest advice to anyone out there looking for success?
Oh, geez, peeps. Oh, right. Well,
on the spot.
Yeah, that's a really good one. It's one I'm probably well versed in. I think we spend a lot of time thinking about all the bad shit that's happened, probably victimizing our own selves, feeling stuck, feeling flat, feeling fat, feeling disinterested. Oh, that happened to me. When actually, see if we can use all the bad stuff, because there's a lot of bad stuff happened in every single person's life. If we can use that and learn from it and let it get you stronger. I mean, Paul, I don't know if you know this, but I've been bankrupt. I've lived a life that just I didn't feel comfy in. But when I got really clever about, I can actually change that. I can change that because I want to change it. When you've got that realization, there's nothing like being in that deep, dark hole to never go back in it again and to keep climbing and to keep driving. So I think for me, it's using the bad stuff and spinning the shit out of it and making it a positive. And I think that would help anybody out of any situation. I mean, I've heard some really, really cruel, awful stories that some of my clients have been through. And same thing, they've got to this realization that I can actually change this because I want to. And when they want to, they start to change. So for me, that's the biggest one. Use your failures or obstacles as reasons to get better and grow.
It's good advice.
Thank you. One for you, Paula. So you look amazing. You're radiating through this camera. Tell me about how do you prioritize time for you, or do you, in terms of wellness? So I'm talking about, your sleep, how much you move, what you eat, what you drink, what you read, what you think. How do you, what do you do? Do you go to the gym? What do you eat? What's your style of nutrition?
So I know we've had this conversation before a long time ago, but for me, actually a huge part of doing this for me, first of all, thank you for actually having me here. But a huge part of doing this today for me was to work out actually what I really need in life. And I think I've probably had so many excuses for such a long time. I've said to you before, I've got the wee ones, how am I meant to get to the gym? I work so many hours, I live on Diet Coke, hands up, that is normal life for me. I'm kind of trundling through. Yeah, I'm really, really good with skincare, but I'm hoping that's going to do the job, and I just think I could feel so much better if I change different things in my life. So I feel like just now I work a lot, I've got little ones, but it really does need to change. I do try and listen to, the odd podcast when I can and try and fit bits and pieces in, but I really do need to change that. And today was a huge part of that for me, stepping into, giving others advice, but I need to take advice myself. And that's the honest answer.
Definitely. Do you know what I feel from you? But I'm really good with people, right? Because I've worked with that many people over the years. I don't think you realize what you are and who you are. Maybe you do a bit, but your self-worth and your self-belief and your confidence, it's not what it should be, because I know what you do. I know how good you are. So I think you're needing built up. And we all need that, but unless you're hearing it from other people, unless you're actually believing it because you're reflecting it, or it's reflecting back at you, I think you need to listen to one of the podcasts on my website, and I'll send you them for free. or you need to get involved in Feel It Be, because I would build you up every single day. It's just, I think you're needing that, whether it's from me or somebody else. I'm not really fussy, but you're so good. But through the camera, I could feel it. You need that thing, whatever that thing is.
Do you know this? I just want to share with you, I actually banged into someone actually in Primark in the queue a couple of weeks ago, and I said to her, you are looking amazing. And she says, oh, I'm doing Shelley Booth's Feel It Be. And honestly, Shelley, when I was talking to her, I was just thinking, you're just radiant, you know, you look amazing. I've known this lady for a long time, but when I seen her, I just thought, wow, something has changed.
Wow.
You know,
she's listening to this.
It definitely does. And if she is listening, she'll know exactly who I'm talking about, because I literally banged into her in Primark. But you know, I did definitely feel something from her, and she looked amazing. So whatever's going on is definitely working. And I tell people about you all the time. I just don't do it.
Yeah.
And again, that's just excuse, and it really is just, it's a poor mentality. It's just an excuse. I need to change things. So
well, this is the first step. This is the first step.
As I've got the coat hiding in the background. But no, you know, I am open to making changes. So
great, glad to hear it. Paula, that's all I've got. I think
amazing.
This is going to be great for my clients. This is for my lifestyle clients, but I am doing a podcast as well. So who knows who will hear this and where about in the world. But the main thing is we can get advice to people if they need it, and they can contact you at any point. So thank you so much.
Shelley, thanks so much for having me. I really looked forward to it, and it's been amazing. So thank you so much.
Thank you, and I'll be in touch.
Not at all. Thanks, Shelley.
Thank you, Paula.
Bye,
see you
guys.
soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.